Hey everyone, back to do another video. Okay, so here is the Goblin now. I still have a few parts coming for it. I got the back tire in today. I got the chain tensioner wheel. Have to clean up the paint job there again. But yeah, got that in today. I adjusted the valve gapping, um, valve spring gapping, or whatever it's called. Adjusted the gapping in the valves. Um, Cleaned up the carburetor and shortened this here up, the intake a little bit. Um, Gave the exhaust pipe a little bit of length. It was hitting against this bar here when I bring the motor all the way this way. Right now, it's all the way forward. Um, I put on the torque converter instead of using the clutch. You know, I figured might as well throw that on and see what it does. So now I might still use the clutch. I don't know. I'm not sure. At this point, I'm not sure yet. I mean, if I decide to use the clutch, it'll work just fine. I just gotta take some links out of the chain, or no, well, actually, let me rephrase that. I need to add links to the chain, which I have, have plenty of, and throw on the clutch, and voila, there we go. Let's see. I did put on the horn. I figured, I'm not going to be using this as a race bike, so I threw the horn on, just for fun, because that's what I'm going to be doing with it, is just having fun. I mean, yeah, it'll be fast, but it ain't no race bike. This thing is heavy. I mean, holy good God, this thing's got some weight. It really does. It's got a bit of weight. But nothing that a torque converter can't handle. That's for sure. The front end, it's heavy. Not the handlebars, the fork, and the wheel. Yeah. So that's got weight, along with the frame. The frame is pretty decent, but it's heavy. So got all that stuff done. Let's see. I did replace the bolts for the rotor. Um, Replaced a little bit of this and that. Um, some of the collars here, I replaced some of those, and some of the lock screws. Replaced some of those. The motor, I did put on the uh, new spark plug. It has a new spark plug wire. The head is the MSD. Pretty darn decent. I have them on pretty much my other bike over there. I also have it on that motor here. Let's see if we get a better view of it. There we go. That's what it looks like. So, yeah. So anyhow, then of course I got the push button here for the electric start. I put on the thumb throttle. I've had this thumb throttle for a while. I just hadn't used it, so I figured, I'll go ahead and throw that on there. That'd be pretty decent to have on there. Turned the my cell phone mount from the cell phone sitting this way. Now I'll sit that way, and I figure why not. Let's see. I do have the crankshaft coming in. Not the crankshaft, the camshaft coming in for it. I don't think it really needs it, but it's like a 50-50 that it's going to work, because it's a camshaft for the Honda GX390, which of course this here is the Predator 420. It's the clone of the Honda GX390, and most of the parts are interchangeable. So I'll see if I can use that. If not, that's okay, because the one that's in there is working. I just don't like it, because on that big gear is supposed to have a dot to line it up with the crankshaft. That camshaft don't have it. They don't have that little dot. The crankshaft gear, it has that little dot, but the camshaft gear doesn't have it, which, you know, I don't like that. It's something's not right there. Or maybe it's no, that something's not right, because this isn't my first go around with this motor. Well, let's just say I've had plenty of these motors, and that's the first time I've seen that the camshaft doesn't have that little dot, or maybe I just didn't pay enough attention. I don't know. But anyhow, I did adjust everything in it. It had too much oil in it, so I dumped out a little bit of that oil, drained out some of that. Let's see, what else? The gas tank. I put on the original gas tank that I made for this bike. Instead of using the 2-barrel gas tank, I just went ahead and went with that one there. I figured that'll be good enough. I'm not going like crazy long distance with it. I do need to clean up that spider web nest of wires, and I do need to get that cleaned up and tidied. I didn't get much sleep last night. I was working on this, so in my defense, that's why it looks like that, because I finished this thing up at about 6 o'clock this morning. So let's see, and I do have a piece coming for this. Now, if any of y'all know about bicycle brakes, there's a brake called the V brake, and the V brake has, from the cable, it has a noodle that's basically curved. The line goes in, goes around like that, and goes from one post to the other on the V brake. Well, I was going to get one of those to put on this. If you notice here, see how that is? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I had to build it up, because using the thumb throttle, there is too much cable. So I built it up, but I don't like that. So I was going to use one of those noodles that the cable runs through, and then I was like, well, even if I use that, it would be the cable rubbing against metal. I don't like that either. However, there is another noodle that is used, and it's not very common, but there is one that is made, and it's on a roller, and in the center there's a bearing, so it's really smooth, and that line goes around that that wheel. The wheel has a groove where the wire, you know, basically guides along with it, you know, and just it's a much better design than the noodle, you know, no friction. It's all bearing and just real nice. So I figured, okay, well, if I get one of those, that would take care of that problem. You know, I could take this here off and clean it up, put that noodle on there, because the noodle, like, it has this little piece that comes out, okay? And in the center, it has a hole where the cable goes out. So I figured, if I were to use that in that little piece, let me give you a better example here. Let me set this camera down. All right, so now on the end of that noodle, it has basically a part that comes out. That part fits in to a sleeve. So I figured if I were to use that noodle and stick it right down that sleeve part, right down into that adjusting part where the carburetor is, that adjusting screw, I can take that, stick it down inside here, inside that piece there, and it'll hold right in there. It'll come up. This piece here will be completely straight. There will be no bend, which means no friction. So it'll be real nice and clean. It'll slide right up in there and it'll be super smooth. I've used them before on some of my BMXs that I used to use at the skate park, as well as some mountain bikes, back in the day. They still make them, these noodles, so Amazon I couldn't find them. They used to carry some, not very many. Couldn't find them on there. That was years ago. So I went ahead and got on eBay and I found them on there. I found a lot of them. However, they're coming from China. I figured, shoot, so be it. I want it. It was only $11, $12. Gotta have it. So that's coming, as well as the camshaft. Both of those are coming. Let's see, what else? Oh, yeah. Which reminds me, let me go ahead and get this camera here adjusted for y'all. I'm going to start up the bike for you. Blow the horn. So, this bike, it has a little bit of weight leaning to this side. It wants to lean to this side. Now, I'm guessing that has to do with the torque converter. And being the fact that the motor itself is shifted over to this side a little bit in order to line up the chain with the sprocket and so that the chain doesn't hit the tire. Because when I first built this bike, I was using a much bigger motor. I was using the Duramax 440cc 18 horsepower. Now I have in here the Predator 420cc and it's only 13 horsepower. So when I had that in here, it was, a little bit, well, it's about the same size actually, but the tire size was also a bit wider. So everything was shifted more over to this side, and now that everything is just a little bit smaller, and the tire is a little bit smaller, well, actually it's smaller in diameter, not so much as in width, I don't think. But regardless, I was running the clutch on it, and now I'm running a very heavy torque converter, so everything is pulling more to this side than, just even straight. So I'm not exactly sure how well that's going to handle, but my guess is it should handle okay. So anyhow, let's go ahead and get this little beast here started. I did get a new petcock for it. The other one was a backwards Chinese, they built it backwards. The on was off and the off was on. Go figure. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and choke it real quick. And I'll just run it just for a second. It's pretty laid out, so yeah. that wants to take off. Oh yeah, and the horn. Whew. Wow, that thing is so loud. Okay, so let me go ahead and turn off the gas on here. Okay, gas is off. There we go. So, as you see, it's in working condition. Probably not the greatest working condition. Well, I mean, it's it'll definitely run. There's no doubt. Oh, and I also extended the seat. The seat only came up to here before, so I extended it up. So I have more seat to it. You know, it's nice and padded. And to get to the switch here, now I decided to, as you guys seen in some of my other videos, I put these little hinges on here, and I put a screw. You take that screw out, and this whole thing opens up. You get to the switch easier. I figured that was a good idea. Turns out I was right about that, because it's really difficult to get underneath here, because see where the switch is, and you have a gas tank right there. Very difficult. So that was a very good idea. The torque converter cover, I painted that, but as you see, the fins, I take those off and left them silver, bare metal, as well as the side of it, left that bare metal. I need to clean that up a little bit more later. You see the little dark spots. That's from doing metal brushing on it. Actually, I think I might leave it like that. It kind of gives it some character. I do like character, that's for sure. So there we go. I wanted to show you guys what I've done and all that. The bike, it came out pretty good. It's working, as you can see. So there we go. Yep. So thanks guys for watching. I appreciate it. Like, subscribe if you want. I'd appreciate that too. Thanks for watching. And I will talk to y'all later.